The Dominican Republic is an amazing place with cultural uniqueness and amazing geography. It all starts with the hard facts. The Dominican Republic is in the Caribbean archipelago on the island of Hispaniola, and it shares it with Haiti. It is also second largest island to only the island of Cuba, because the Dominican has a mere 18,704 square miles. It also has a high population of an estimated 10 million people and was discovered by Christopher Columbus back in 1492. The Dominican was the first European settlement in the Americas, and it fought for centuries to get out of Spanish rule, yet still it had to adopt the cultures, just as many other Spanish countries did. It also had French and Haitian interludes. The Dominican Republic took up economic liberalism. It is now the second largest economy in the Caribbean. Nevertheless, unemployment, government corruption, and inconsistent electrical service remain major Dominican problems. The country also has marked income inequality. The government is ruled by none other than President Leonel Fernandez. It has the same three-branch economical system as America, and it uses a form of money called the Dominican peso. They are low on these pesos because they face some economical problems. The capital, where the president lives, is Santo Domingo, and there is the second largest, Santiago de los Caballeros, which lies in one of the 13 provinces in the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic gets most of its money from exports and the rest from inner sellings. A lot of these exports are of fish, because they are an island in an archipelago, and the rest of it would be sugar. A lot of the children work to get this sugar, and that is how a lot of the families get these Dominican pesos. Yet they are still limited and have very few of them. It is a very poor country, yet they still do better than Haiti, which has recently had an earthquake. The basic religion of the Dominican Republic would be the Catholic religion and the many different types of it, where they worship Jesus. The most widely spoken in the official language of the Dominican Republic would be Spanish, which they speak a lot in America and the Hispanic countries. Now they also speak French, which is widely spoken throughout Haiti and also France. Yet for the tourists they have to speak English, which is widely spoken throughout England and America. Throughout the Caribbean, including the Dominican Republic and Haiti, there was a big earthquake, which many people were very afraid of. It flooded out a lot of places, and this caused a famine where there were no crops growing because of overwatering, which killed many different people. The Dominican may keep having problems like earthquakes and famine, but still they seek joy, and that is the reason why they still uphold these many festivals and dances.
The Dominican Republic, on the island of Hispaniola, is the birthplace of another popular Latin dance, merengue. Once considered music of the common people, merengue has become a vital part of the Dominican Republic's cultural identity. There's even a national merengue festival held every July. More than 10 days of singing and dancing in the streets. The festival draws people from around the world, including the well-known merengue singer, Sergio Vargas, who grew up here. Like almost all modern Caribbean music, merengue combines elements from both African and Western traditions.
I guess that mixture of things, is what makes the merengue. It's basically an African rhythm, but then it has the melody and the music from Spanish songs.
It was a dictator named Rafael Trujillo who came from peasant roots, who adopted the dance as a national symbol. Today the merengue is distinguished by the use of 3 signature instruments: the tambora, the saxophone, and the accordion. The tambora is a
There are many different ways that they dance, and most of them are upheld in their festivals, which are very important to them, such as Christmas, as they are of the Catholic faith. They enjoy Christmas because it worships Jesus, who they follow along with God, who is a very important father figure to those of the Catholic religion. They also have many contests, such as windsurfing, which is very popular and gets a lot of people active. Most of the festivals and some of the contests have many different types of instruments, which they use to play music, as music is a very important part of any country and any different culture. There are many different kinds and a lot of dances that go with these kinds, and many people play on the street for money, as it is a very poor country and there's no other way. As culture lives on, so does art, and the many different types of art. There were the finger paintings, the sculptures, which were very famous, and the paintings by brush, which took a lot of time but many people bought and thought were amazing. These pictures normally resembled how the people felt, what the people saw in the country, or what they thought was very important to the culture, and they were sold at a market, normally on the side of a road, where you would find many paintings, such as this one, the Marchanta. It was found and sold early. Another type of culture would be music, and there are many different types, and they're in every different country, such as the ones from Luis Diaz. He was a very famous dude, and he used to play on the guitar in a rock band. Then there were the people who played jazz and the blues, who were also very famous in the Dominican Republic. Writers! Along with artists, there were also writers such as Julia Alvarez and Virgilio Diaz-Grullon. They wrote books such as nonfiction, mystery, and the most famous ones were poetry that taught children. Yet they weren't the only famous people. There were also people that played sports, such as baseball. There were people like Manny Ramirez, Sammy Sosa, Pedro Martinez, and Albert Pujols. These people were famous for being outfielders, infielders, pitchers, and people like Sammy Sosa, who got a lot of home runs and many just normal runs. Yet these people weren't exactly perfect. They still cheated, like how they used drugs on Sammy Sosa, and they also used cork bats, which helped them win a lot of games which weren't really fair, and they eventually lost. Being a famous baseball player was not the only way to make money. There were also people who cooked, like how they cooked coco flan, dulce de coco, dulce de leche, and dulce de batata. These may just be desserts, but that was the most famous thing about the Dominican Republic. They are commonly known as the dietitianer's worst nightmare, because their major exports are sugar, because it is a great place to grow sugarcane, as it is on the ocean and has a lot of water. In fact, for breakfast they barely eat anything, so they're not completely unhealthy. In fact, a lot of the time in their meals they have to use the pyramid method, as it is a way of staying healthy. They would eat things like dairy, grain, and fat. Yet they wouldn't go on so much fat. As you can see here, they have many different types of things to eat, especially vegetables, which were easily makeable in a water lake. The Dominican Republic, again, is the second largest economy. Basically, they have a lot of this because of their agricultural needs and what they make. They export sugarcane and fish, as they're on an archipelago, and it means a lot to them to not have earthquakes and weather disasters. They've recently had one, but still, again, they're the second largest economy in the Caribbean. It's very important to them, and they make a lot of money by it because that's the only way they can, other than the famous people. A major hotspot in the Dominican Republic is the highest peak in the Caribbean, called Pico Duarte. The country also has many other places to go, as it is the endless summer. and it has a temperature that constantly stays at a rate of 77 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year, as it is almost on the equator. It also has many great beach scenery, as it is an archipelago.